Do you ever get someone who shows you this intense interest and is very excited to call you or text you or talk with you for a little while, and everything seems to be going like, yeah, this person likes me, or, you know, is interested in becoming friends or whatever, and then all of a sudden their whole attitude just changes, and you have no reason, no explanation that you can think of as to why. They just suddenly don't like you or don't feel the same as they originally did. No, don't you stop and think though, like, doesn't that feel like that's a little disingenuous? Like, what was that about? What agenda did they have? What what were they after? Um, you know, don't you start to like kind of wonder what what just happened? Sometimes you'll start feeling like, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And you have to realize, like, you didn't do anything wrong. You were shopped. You were shopped. They came in the shop and they tried you on because you looked so good on the mannequin in the window from looking at you like you are an object. And I'm not speaking romantically solely, like, that's not my point, that's not my perspective. That could be applied, but I'm talking about like someone who you might know for a while, and then all of a sudden they're showing you this interest, and then all of a sudden they drop you like a stone, like a hot stone, and you left there like, what happened? Did I do something wrong? And you're checking yourself. You can't find a dang thing. There's nothing you did that you can think of that could cause this person to behave that way, to have this change of heart, you know? And if you ever go down a street where they have a lot of shops, right? And you see this, say like it's a dress or a suit, and you see it in the window, and you're like, man, that looks like just the suit I want, just the dress I want. And you go in there and you find it on the hanger, you get into the changing room, try it on, and lo and behold, like, it's sewn all messed up, or your body doesn't fit that really cool thing, you know? And you're like, man, not what I thought it was. So you put it all back on the hanger and, you know, leave it in there in the fitting room, and and um and you leave. You leave empty-handed. Okay, so that's what people do. This is not the way things were back in the day. Not when I was going to school. Like, there were some, but it wasn't such a thing back then that you could like recognize this. It would be like, it didn't matter because that's not common. It hardly ever happens. But now it happens all the time. Like, I find a good, 20, 30 people, and maybe one of them is genuine. One. And that's a hard rock to swallow. Like, it's terrible. You, you, because finding a decent friend is like so few and far between. When two people are compatible, they, they're willing to like work at it, you know? That's the kind of friend you want, somebody who's willing to work at it. But then you get these people who shop you, they try you on in the fitting room They create their little um, virtual fitting room, on a phone or in text messages or whatever. And in the minute, like, especially if you show any sort, like you wear your heart on your sleeve, you have some emotion, like they could be all emotional, but if you're emotional, they don't like that. They drop you. And so I've been thinking about this for some time. I'm getting so tired of being shopped. And I started thinking to myself, what in the world triggers them? Okay, so there's nothing wrong with me the way I am, but something triggers them. And it's taken me, it's not that I did something wrong or anybody does something wrong. When people are like that, the wrong is in them. Because the right sort of friend and the right sort of fit is somebody who's willing to work at it, work at the friendship. They don't want an instant, this, I don't have to do anything to this. Like when you go to a tailor, you go to buy a suit, like an expensive suit, you don't take it off the hanger and put it in a bag and walk out. An expensive suit, you leave it there, and you're coming back for that appointment where you're working at it, you're tailoring it. You may have to come back a few times. It might be right the first time, but if it is, you're probably going to be there for a while, and you're going to have to stand there, and you're going to be tired. It's not that instant gratification thing. You're not taking it home and it's all, and you'll just like put up with it not fitting right. You're gonna work at it. The tailor's gonna work at it, and you're gonna work at it, and it's gonna fit. And then when you're walking out, he's gonna be like, or she, that's amazing, I did a great job. And when you are walking out, you're like, that's amazing, like it was so worth the wait. Okay, so when I'm looking at myself, what do I do that triggers them? And it's that point I just made. It's a commitment. It's a work thing. It's a team thing. They don't want team. They don't want commitment. They don't want accountability. They don't want to work at the front. They want a cheap fitting. That's what they want. And so I said to myself, okay, what's attracting them? What attracts these people? So I finally thought of what I really think this is, what attracts them, okay? Because something is attracting them, but then they change their mind, and it's not just the work, the accountability, the the patience, or any of that. What initially attracts that type of person is sparkle. It's like, okay, maybe not not glitz, but I'm talking about a little glint of something subtle, something different. So, okay, that's one thing, you're different. Second is it's attractive, an attractive difference. So I say to myself, well, what could that be? Because how am I when they first meet me? I'm reserved. I'm a little quieter. I'm a little more cautious. I'm how I used to be when I was younger, where back when I was really young, I had little, I could hardly talk to people. Like, I had to know them really super well. But as I got into my teens, I was preteen, I was trying to learn. I was trying to make friends, and a lot of the girls were catty back then. Like, it wasn't the trying on and the fitting, see, bad fit, good fit thing. I want to put it in my bag and go home. A lot of them were willing to work and make a friendship. They had friends that lasted for a really long time. But the thing is they were catty. and a lot of them I just didn't like. I'd get along better with guys because they weren't catty, but then they'd want something else. So I ended up alone a lot, and being a loner. That's one of the number of reasons I was a loner. I could handle it. I could take it because I learned a saying later on: you don't want the best of the worst. You don't want the best of the worst. So if you've got a category of bad, you need to leave it completely alone and go find a category of good and pick the best of the good. But if it's all good, hey, you don't have to worry about if you're picking from the top or the bottom because it's good. So I didn't like catty girls, and I didn't like snobby boys, which were usually, lots of them were jocks and walked like they had a ruler in their behinds, and they walk with this little walk, like it's a haughty little walk, and they don't keep their heels down on the ground very long. Anyway, it's another story. But I said to myself, okay, so they're probably attracted to that quiet, low-key listener, coming in later, waiting for everybody to finish talking, looking for the word in edgewise person, and they probably see this as demure, gentle, subtle, soft, whatever, right? A million things. It could be whatever. But then, once I'm comfortable with somebody, or I think someone's sincere, I'll open up a bit more. And when I do, it's like that's the very instant where they don't like you. No, you don't talk. You stay quiet. You shut up. You let me do the talking. That's how they act. They want, like, it's almost like arm candy. It's friend candy. They want you to be the friend candy. So when they go place or talk, I've got this friend, everybody's thinking of that subtle, laid back, taking it easy, cool kind of, because that's how it looks on the outside. But that's not, you could be nervous. You could be really nervous, and that's why you're not talking so much. But they want that image. They want that image, like, and they're after something. So then it's almost like they've taken that outfit, even if it's a cheap outfit, they get it home and they think, oh, my friend won't like this. Yeah. Or they discover if it's a less expensive, they're gonna say, oh, it looks, the material isn't right, it's cheap, whatever. They're gonna find a reason to get rid of it, to return it, and it's just, people are so fake. Like, I have a hard time with these, particularly, I don't want to make that the issue, but it's like a lot of, it's a neurotypical kind of a trait, and it's discouraging, but I don't want to let them discourage me. I don't want to value something that's discouraging. So I have to say, they're not for me either. Like, I don't care. But then I got this attitude also, like, this is my attitude. Like, the thing that people don't know about me a lot is, it's like, you know what? If I am just some garment, you're gonna try me on and leave me in the fitting room What do I care? I'm just a garment. Garments aren't going to sit there and care whether you like them. You care whether you like it. They don't care whether you like them. And that's how I feel inside. It's like as soon as I like get over the I don't know if it's manipulation or exploitation. Their exploitation. As soon as like I'm onto it, like I just realized, okay, oh, I just got shopped. And it's like I'm not on that same track I was before. Like I'm not on the you might be genuine, or you're acting like you're genuine, or this might be a good opportunity. You have a good friendship develop. No. As soon as I recognized, they shopped me. They tried me on. They didn't like me. They left me hanging in that fitting room. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. Yep, because I really don't care. You know, I'm okay with you don't like me and moving on. I'm not like gonna be brokenhearted. Oh, so and so, the person didn't like me. Or, I must not have enough value. I must not this. I must not. No, they lack appreciation. I don't lack value. They lack appreciation because I know what kind of person I am. I know I'm loyal. I know, I'm accountable. I'm honest, and they want to throw that away. Yeah? Go right ahead. Go right ahead, because you don't fit. That's how I feel like telling them, your shape is so bad, I couldn't look good on you anyway. So just don't feel bad when people are stupid. If they are like that, don't let their exploitation keep you like wound around the finger, wound around the you don't let them twisting up your brain like that. Just get it straight in your head. Like, they don't have appreciation. They're not accountable. Are those the kind of friends I want? My kind of friends are rare. They don't come very, very frequently. It's someone who can say, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, I just screwed up. Did I hurt you? I really didn't mean to hurt you. I was thinking like this, but it went like that. You're not dealing with a narcissist, anybody abusive. They're genuine. Their heart's on their sleeve. They're up front. All their cards are facing straight up, face up on the table. You can check their cards anytime. They have nothing to hide. There's no dishonesty. There's no games. So think about what kind of friend you have to wait for. A good suit, a good fit. They have to be willing to let you fit them, and then you have to let them fit you. So it has to go both ways, and that takes time. It takes effort. It takes work. It takes visits, not one visit. And if you get shopped, and you just sit there for a moment and you picture that person walking in. You ever see people like looking for clothing, and then they're not looking at the seams, they're not looking at the tags, they're not looking at the material, they're not checking the stretch. They don't know anything about garment shopping. They don't know what quality is, so they can't know to look for quality. They're checking the price tag. Yeah, everybody does. But the thing is when you get those pants on the rack, you got to be in a certain kind of store. You go in there, and the pants don't have a hem. There's they're finished on the edge, finished on the bottom, but they're not hemmed. And so, that's the place that's going to tailor it. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what that pant will fit you like in the fitting room. The tailor's on site. The tailor is going to take it in for you. They're going to turn the garment inside out, and they're going to pin you all up. You're going to take it off, and then you're going to come back sometime next week, and you're going to try it on again. And any corrections that need to be made, they're going to make them. And they're going to keep fitting you until it fits good. That's what friends do for each other. They don't shop each other. They purchase each other. They stick together. They stay together. They work through the problems. They are committed. Even at the beginning, they're looking for a long-term friendship. That's the kind of friends you want. Boy, I tell you, there aren't very many people in this world that are willing to stick to a long-term friendship. One that endures the years. There's people who are friends for years, but there's different types of friendships too. You've got, I know someone in my building, they talk a lot, to their so-called friends, but they, it's just rants, it's just gossip. There's no 2-hour conversation about anything meaningful in their life, and that is a turnoff for people that shop you. So if you want to test somebody who might be shopping you, or test whether they're shopping you, dredge up a little interesting conversation and see if they banter. Do they go back and forth with you? Do they become involved? How broad are their interests? Are they only looking about social media and makeup and clothing, or do they actually have something deeper inside going on? Like they can actually, like deeper to me is like when you look at a mountain. People don't see deep when they look in a mountain, but down inside of a mountain, you'll have taverns, you'll have like caves, you'll have water going through it, like rivers, streams, rivers. There's things going on under there, and if they can't wrap their head around that, or they just don't want it, let them go. Just let them go. And then say, I'm sitting here in the fitting room, hanging on the hook. I don't care. I'm going to go back on the rack soon enough, and I don't care. I'm so glad you walked out the store without me. Just let them go. You don't want that kind. You're not hemmed yet. Your hems are adjustable. And yeah, don't feel bad. There's good people out there worth waiting for, but sometimes, and this is the thing, sometimes they're right under your nose, and you didn't expect that they were the ones. And it's kind of hard to tell because the fakes are fakes. What fake means is they resemble the real thing. That's what a fake is. A fake resembles the real thing. So lies are meant to deceive. They're lies because they look like truth, and they're not, but they look like truth. So don't feel bad. Lies are made to deceive. They're not made to be found out. They're not made to be recognized. They're not made to be, oh, I could catch a lie. The better the liar, the harder it is for you to tell the truth. Some people want to say, oh, I can always tell the truth. That very person has a lie in their head, because a real person, a true person, a really super smart person can't always tell a lie, because there's smart liars too, and there's smart fakes. So they're shopping. They've learned like a, like a person walks into a store acting like they're wealthy, but they're not. All the clerks go, all the staff goes and try, can I help you? Can I help you? And they're looking. And then when they get to that part where that person doesn't realize, oh, this store has got clothing that is tailored, you get fitted, then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, it takes a while. It takes a while to recognize that. So here's a little story. I was 15. I just turned 16. I was newly 16. I got a job that I wasn't even fully qualified for, but I got a job at a Phillips 66. And I started working till I worked my butt off, but I didn't care. I was a worker. I worked 7 days a week, 11 hours a day at 16 years old. And the money started to accumulate in my pocket because I didn't have a bank. I was too young to get a bank. So, well, that's another story. Something I did in California. I was the first kid in California to get a bank account. And I couldn't use the checks because I couldn't get a driver's license, not even a state license, until I was 16, but that was when I was 14, or 13, yeah. Had checks at 13, but couldn't write any of them. Anyway, but here I am, 16 years old, and I've got like $800 in my pocket. I walk around with $800 in my bank account was in my pocket. I didn't tell anybody, nobody knew. And I'd take myself shopping. I like to go by myself. I like to take my time. I like not having to worry about someone's tagging along and like they want to do something I don't feel like doing. I can really immerse myself in looking for what I'm looking for, or exploring. I love to explore. I was willing to spend however much money I wanted to spend. And this is kind of snobby at the time. Maybe I was kind of snobby, but at the time, like, I would go to the mall and then I would go shopping for clothing, and I'd look and I'd see something I really liked, but I would be I had this brain back then. It was like, I don't know, hard to explain. An I can brain. And I would go in there and I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna buy something, but I want the staff to make me feel good while I'm buying something. And if they don't do their job, I'm not gonna buy something. So I'd go in there and sometimes I'd find something, man, I really love this. This is beautiful. I want to get it. But the staff would be crappy. I was just like, nah. It just made me don't like that item now. I was just like, I don't really like the item. And I was really good about like $40 was like a line I had for like shoes. I had lines. I'd spend more for clothes. But I loved when something was about $40 and it had really great quality and whatever. But I liked to buy it from a store I liked. I liked to buy it from a store that made me feel good when I walked in. The people were nice. They were helpful. They didn't like overpower or like hoover you, I like to buy the thing because in that way, because then when I took the item home, I would always remember that experience every time I wore it. And the wearing it would give me that feeling like I'm appreciated, not because they knew me, but they just appreciated people. It was a good atmosphere, like when you go to a restaurant and you order your food and it tastes good and you get great service and the waiter's friendly and they're making jokes and you want to come back. But you might not come back when you're just shopping for clothes. And you want that feeling, like this just gives me the atmospheric, the ambient feeling I got when I was buying it. When I was, looking at it, and it becomes part of the garment. And I was like that, but I could have spent $400 for a piece of clothing. It didn't matter to me. My rent was paid, my bills were paid. This was my spending money, my $800, and I just was like thinking to myself, that's like more the way you want to shop for friends. You have to do, you have to be, I don't know if it is like this type, we really don't do friends shopping. We're never going at it with the shopping mentality, even though I just gave a shopping experience, but I'm saying they shop and we like browse. We're looking for that thing. We're looking for that, but a lot of times they use flattery, or they use exploitation, emotionalism, fake genuinity, they're yeah, so it's just like I'm losing my I had a lot of thoughts going on at once, so I'm trying to focus back on what my train of thought was. When we buy something in that way, like when we're shopping like that, our type of people, we may think back about an item we left behind. We might think about it for a very, very long time. That's one thing. We might say, boy, I wish I had gotten that for years. We might think about it for our lifetime. I don't know, there's a thing I've thought about for my lifetime that I said, that was really a nice thing, I should have got it. And then we start learning, okay, when I like something a real lot, I want to get 2 of them, and I will buy 2 of them because I said, oh, I know I'm gonna use this so much, it's gonna wear out, and I'm gonna really miss it when it's gone. That's happened to me before. I miss it. I was like, I should have got 2, so I started buying 2 of them, and then we buy things in such a way. So like when I was young, a few times I didn't know about fads go in and out. When I first started buying my clothes so young, I was working at 14, so I 13, and I would give half of my money to my mom, and the rest I would take my friend shopping, or I would go shopping myself and buy something. This is when I was materialistic. Didn't have the concept of spirituality or other things at that time of my life. But I hate when I lose my thought. Anyway, I would buy 2, and then I forgot what I was gonna say. But there's little strategies that we learn, we buy I didn't know about the fads and how, okay, so next year this is gonna be like bad to wear. People are gonna think this is yucky. And so I started buying things that were called classic, or things that weren't fads, definitely not in the fad category, but were very nice, things that weren't gonna go out of style. And that so then I would have those things for years, as if they lasted for years. Something good. I had a beautiful knit sweater, it was knitted, and I got it in a shop in I used to know all the names. You know, my memory's slipping. Can't. Keeps going in and out. It's a shopping center in California. A nice one, and Paul. I want to say Palmetto. No, Palmetto. I can't think of the name. But anyway, I got this. It was like the shop was beautiful. Walked in, everything was like natural material, made of really natural materials. So I got this beautiful cotton knitted shirt, and I got that when I was 14 years old, and I had it until I was 30. 30. Took care of it, good care of it, you know. Its color held up beautifully. It didn't get pills or anything. It was like amazing. It was that $40 thing, you know. $40, even if it was 70 on sale for 40. Like I always knew that was my number, my good number, that for some reason I found beautiful suede shoes that were $40 and get them for, I would come back and get them for the discount price, and got them, and they matched that beautiful shirt. I was just love that shirt. I still love it to this day, and it's long gone. I literally wore it. I don't think it was completely wore out, but I think probably because I was moving and I had to take a whole lot less. I probably reasoned like, okay, this thing is old now, and let it go. I don't remember what happened, but yeah, a suede. No, it wasn't suede. It was a leather. In San Francisco, I got a beautiful leather bag. It was so clean and simple. It was just one piece folded over with this beautiful, simple snap, like stainless steel snap on it. It was tanned, smooth leather, like clean, simple. I love that thing, and it lasted and lasted and lasted. I don't even know what became of it, but I had it forever and ever. Yeah, if you take really good care of your stuff, that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of person you want as your friend. Somebody who's going to keep you forever, take really good care of you. But you have to be that kind of friend too, because they don't want to be shopped. They don't want to be tried on by some person that has no appreciation for the seams, for the stitching, for the craftsmanship. Like, don't feel bad. Let them go. They're not the customer. Somebody like that wants to purchase that type of garment. They're going to take it home. They're going to throw it in a pile in their closet. They're going to wear heels that like rip the back out. So they can't even walk right in nice heels. They'll break the heels because they're like putting all their force and weight on it, and they have no ballet skills. Like, I'm joking, but you know what I'm saying. I don't have ballet skills either. Can't pirouette because I got inner ear problems. But I'm saying, you don't want to be wasted. You don't want to be discarded. You don't want underarm stains and smells. Like, picture yourself as a garment. You don't want to be treated bad. And if you have friends, that's what garments are like. When you're like a garment and they're like a garment, you cover them and they cover you. Like, it's not in a low life sort of way. I'm talking about in a quality way. Like, I'm not saying cover up for your bad. I'm talking about they cover you, they care for you, they have consideration, they own up, they be on time, they their quality and your quality, and that's a really good fit. So don't feel bad if somebody shops you and you don't feel left behind, even though you're in the fitting room, or even if you're that suit to be tailored, but you're like thrown on the bench in the fitting room. So what? That's a much better place to be than in that person's hamper. You don't want their hamper. You don't want to be in amongst all their friends they throw in the hamper and they take you out dirty and put you on again. You're not that, okay? You're not that. Don't feel bad, alright? So anyway, I always try to make my videos short, but I just cannot. I got a good heart to do that, but I just can't, because the good heart just I hope it's good. I hope it is, because we can lie to ourselves too if we don't be careful. But anyway, I hope that this video helps you, and don't look at my crooked nose because it got broken when I was 15. Somebody mean broke it. But yeah, it's okay. Have respect for yourself, and don't take yourself too seriously. That's why if you're that garment sitting on the bench, half draped on the bench and onto the floor, like don't take yourself too seriously, but have respect for yourself. You know what I mean? Do it that right way. Learn to feel it like that, okay? So hope this makes you feel better if you were feeling rotten, and I hope it helps you not to have to feel rotten. And that's it. Take care.